Coming up after the break, we're going to have Where There's Smoke, There's Fire.
And as always, we're going to take a look at a few stories that have sparked some flames throughout the Valley this past month.
So stay tuned. Sessions from Studio A is coming up next. Welcome to Sessions from Studio A. I'm Robin Daniel Egan along with Lauren Reynolds.
Hey, everybody.
We have a World Series winner prediction, a discussion on children in the workplace.
But first, let's start by talking about some of baseball's biggest embarrassments this spring. All right, guys, let's be honest. Is there anything more embarrassing than a strikeout in baseball? I don't think so.
Well, I mean, it happens all the time. It's a big part of the game, but the strikeout seems as if it can be pretty dehumanizing.
Yeah.
When fans go to the game, they want to see hits, they want to see home runs, they want to see a good pitcher up there, and they want to see a good defense. Nobody wants to see a guy that makes $20 million up there swinging away at nothing and striking out.
People want to see the strikeouts. People want to see the fights in hockey. People want the craziness.
Now, I think there are other things that can really hit home, though, like a home run. You know, or I feel like that could be pretty embarrassing. You're throwing away, just cracks it out of there, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad when you have your arm going to waste like that. Or what about a pickoff? Somebody trying to steal bases and they get caught basically with their pants down.
True. So I guess we both posed some interesting points, but the home run is not more embarrassing than the strikeout. But the pickoff or being caught stealing is definitely more embarrassing as the latter.
So let's take us into our next topic. Would you quit your job if you were told you couldn't bring your child to work with you anymore? I think that's a really hard question.
Yeah, that's definitely a controversial topic. I could see sides to both.
Now, this story is about a father who happens to play baseball and was told by management you can no longer bring your child with you to the ballpark every day.
Wow.
Now, faced with that decision, the father, he walked away. He walked away from his teammates, $13 million, and baseball because obviously for him, family was more important.
That's a really hard decision, and if I was put in a position like that, I would just pose the question, has this father set a poor example for his son by quitting, or has he taught him a valuable lesson in life, such as family and priorities?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, guys, but one thing's for sure, this is one expensive example or lesson, whatever you want to call it. But personally, I believe parents have the right to raise their children as they see fit, just as long as it doesn't break any laws or anything, right? Mm-hmm. Baseball doesn't seem to be one of those jobs either where it would be a nightmare to bring your kid to work. I'm sure there are lots of rules and regulations regarding that, but from the reports, we've seen that the child wasn't really a troublemaker or anything, but in fact was intelligent and even fun to be around. Unlike some of our coworkers. We're not naming any names, but we all know who you are. With that said, literally, you work in a park, you have the financial means to make your dreams come true. I say, hell yeah, bring your kid into work. You're damn right to walk away because at that moment, you're showing the child that family bond is more valuable than $13 million.
Well, clearly we do have a difference of opinion on that one.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I'm all for having kids in the workplace. But to walk away from a contract that you signed, that's ridiculous. And for these reasons, forget how much money you're walking away from. You're teaching your child that giving up and quitting is okay when things don't go your way, when the circumstances don't go in your favor. Maybe the better lesson would have been showing endurance, integrity. Maybe there's more to the story, but as the story stands, I think that the father used poor judgment. He should have honored the final year of his contract.
Well,
maybe the better lesson would have been showing endurance, integrity. Maybe there's more to the story, but as the story stands, I think that the father used poor judgment. He should have honored the final year of his contract.
Well, the ending number to the year is an even number, and according to the 3 previous even years, the San Francisco Giants are on pace to win the 4th World Series this decade. decade. Before the Giants can get there, though, a stubborn NL West stands in the way. Mainly the Dodgers and Diamondbacks are seen as the biggest competition. So the injury bug bit the Dodgers halfway through spring training. The D-backs got stung the last game before the season began. But when Pollock went down with a shoulder injury. So my question to you is, who is the frontrunner from the Cactus League to win the World Series?
Well, I think it's obvious who the front runner is. Yes, the Kansas City Royals look just as good as they did last year. You got Cleveland, White Sox, Padres, Angels, Dodgers, but none of them stand a chance this year. I think from the Cactus League, it's going to boil down to the Cubs embracing their destiny, right?
Yeah, leave it to fate.
Who doesn't want to see the Cubs win?
Sounds like we have a underdog rooter in the crowd. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I love the underdog. Go Cubbies.
No, good for you. Somebody's got to root for them, right?
They deserve it.
But no, in all seriousness, the Cubs are in a great position. The manager, Joe Maddon, has the team loose, clicking on all cylinders. They're doing phenomenal. The same cast back from last year with a few impressive pickups in Lackey and Hayward. The Diamondbacks look good, everybody. Kershaw and the Dodgers will show up, but ultimately it'll come down to the Cubs and what the Stars have in store for them. I think this might be one of our first agreements of the year, Robin.
Oh.
I didn't think it was going to happen, but it happened.
Well, let's not make a habit of it. I think a difference and a point of view is really what makes the show, sizzle.
Absolutely. Devil's advocate, right? You got to be able to look at both sides of the story.
Ping and pong.
Yeah. Yin and yang, everybody. Clearly, though, it's my superior knowledge. So we'll be right back after the break. Robin, you're not allowed to say anything. Where's there's smoke, there's fire is up next. Holy shit. The World Baseball Classic coming up next year. There's a debate brewing in baseball. Who is America's first baseman?
Now, in the past, we've seen Don Mattingly and Mark Grace both wear this crown. Today, there looks like a nice battle brewing between Paul Goldschmidt and Anthony Rizzo. Now, if there's a slight advantage, it would have to go to Goldie.
Goldie might have the slight advantage, but honestly, Rizzo has been playing in more meaningful games. Rizzo also has the Cubs poised to win their first World Series since 1908. And if the Cubs win the World Series, they become America's team, just like the Cowboys in football once were.
Rizzo might be able to lead the Cubs to the World Series, but let's not start talking dynasty just yet. A few things still have to happen for this to take place. So, for the time being, Goldie's going to be crowning more than a newborn baby.
No. All right, for the time being.
Come back.
I'm here. All right, well, that does it for Sessions from Studio A. Stay tuned for more discussions and what topics Robin and I will be covering next.